Welcome to our presentation about the iconic novel, Dracula, by Bram Stoker. We will be looking at its roots, influences, and how it continues to captivate readers and moviegoers to this day. We invite you to take this journey with us to explore the timeless horror classic that is Dracula. Let's begin. Many have heard of the mysterious creature of the night, Dracula. This classic literary figure, first introduced to us by Bram Stoker in 1897, has been the source of fascination since. This presentation will take a look at the origins of Dracula, its influence on our popular culture, and its legacy. We will delve into how Stoker defied existing social standards and examine why themes of sexuality, religion, and xenophobia remain intertwined with this story even today. Bram Stoker, the author of the classic piece of literature, Dracula, was born in Dublin, Ireland in 1847. Initially working as a civil servant, he later became the business manager for the Lyceum Theatre in London, where he befriended and was mentored by Sir Henry Irving, a famous actor. It was not until 1897, with the publication of Dracula, that Stoker achieved real success as a writer. This horror classic was inspired by Stoker's love of folklore, alongside his travels and readings about Vlad the Impaler, a ruler of the 15th century who was known for his brutal fighting methods. Bram Stoker's Dracula puts Transylvania in the spotlight as the novel's setting. Not only does this locale boast of enshrouding mysterious tales, it also serves as a fitting backdrop for the horror story. Transylvania hosts an abundance of history and folklore with its mountainous land and dense forests. This far-off place adds an eeriness and uneasiness to the novel, forming an aura of mystery and uncertainty. Stoker's lifelike descriptions of the area intensify the unease within the story and leave a lasting impression on the reader. Bram Stoker's novel, Dracula, is one of the most iconic horror tales of all times, having been first published in 1897. Vampires have been featured in literature since ancient Greece and Rome, yet, Dracula wasn't the first vampire novel. It was, however, the one that popularized the genre, drawing upon a variety of vampire legends and myths from different cultures. What made Dracula an instant classic was how it introduced key tropes of vampirism, such as the need for blood and aversion to sunlight, which readers still recognize today. Since Dracula, many vampire works have been produced, and its influence remains strong. To Bram Stoker's Dracula is a horror classic that has captivated readers for centuries. It is also a unique work that explores a variety of themes, such as sexuality, religion and xenophobia. By looking at how these themes are used and presented in the novel, we can gain an insight into Victorian attitudes and beliefs. With its unforgettable characters and captivating plot, Dracula is a timeless classic that will continue to thrill readers for generations to come. As we explore Bram Stoker's seminal novel, Dracula, we encounter the classic ingredients of Gothic literature. Supernatural elements, dark and foreboding atmospheres, and an emphasis on emotion and sensation over rationality. Dracula is significant not only in its contribution to the Gothic tradition, but also for its lasting impact on later works of horror and vampire fiction. Stoker's novel helped popularize the modern image of vampires as seductive and dangerous creatures, while also exploring themes of sexuality, repression, and the struggle between good and evil. Bram Stoker's Dracula is an iconic horror novel that has left an unparalleled influence on literature and entertainment. By introducing the vampire to popular culture, it established itself as a key figure in horror and fantasy genres. Its progressive exploration of sexuality, gender, and identity was daring for its time, inspiring more open attitudes to these topics. Join us on a journey through this classic masterpiece and experience its powerful legacy. Bram Stoker's Dracula has endowed modern popular culture with a deep impression. It has been reimagined in various forms of media, from derivatives to editions. This horror story is additionally endowed with a romantic quality that has continued to fascinate readers over the decades. No wonder that it continues to be well-liked in the present age. Bram Stoker's Dracula, published in 1897, has become a classic work of horror, captivating readers for generations. It has successfully employed the supernatural, suspense and violence to become an everlasting Gothic horror masterpiece. Not only has it set the bar for horror, it has also heavily influenced the popular vampire archetype, prompting a flurry of novels, movies and other works from Interview with the Vampire to Twilight. Its long-standing legacy is proof of its timelessness. Symbolism in Bram Stoker's Dracula is a subtle yet powerful reminder of the threat posed by the notorious vampire himself. Various symbols, from the drinking of blood to the deployment of crucifixes, allude to the power and danger of Dracula. Although risks may appear to be detrimental, if managed cautiously, they can bring numerous advantages. Upon its publication in 1897, Bram Stoker's iconic horror novel, Dracula, received mixed reviews. However, its gripping plot and spine-tingling atmosphere eventually earned it recognition as a seminal work of horror fiction, with adaptations and imitations inspiring many future works. Regarded by many as one of the greatest horror novels of all time, Dracula has continued to capture readers' imaginations for over a century and remains a source of debate and analysis among literary scholars. Its influence on the horror genre and wider popular culture is undeniable. Examining Bram Stoker's Dracula from a feminist perspective reveals an important message about gender roles in Victorian society. Mina Harker is depicted as a strong and active character who is able to save her husband from Dracula, whereas Lucy Westenra faces chastisement for her sexuality and is ultimately made a vampire. This highlights the fear and condemnation of female sexuality during this period, raising important questions about gender roles and power dynamics. As such, the novel provides an important text for feminist analysis. An exploration of the theme of colonialism and imperialism is presented in Bram Stoker's Dracula, as a reflection of 19th-century attitudes in literature. Characters such as Van Helsing are depicted as symbols of European superiority and the necessity of subjugating and dominating foreign countries. Multiple motifs, such as the captivating and unknown appeal of Eastern European characters in contrast to the order and refinement of the British, are used to emphasize this theme. This presentation has given an insightful examination of this renowned vampire story. Appreciation for viewing is extended.